All right, what's going on, everyone? I'm live today. I haven't been live on the NavalX accounts for a couple weeks, I think. A lot of things going on.
Oh,
How's it going, Ashley?
hey, what's going on? You've been slacking over there because you've been doing some amazing things. That's why.
There's lots of things going on every direction. So, yeah, today we're just going to chat about a couple things. Introduce you all to, if you don't know her, Ashlee Floyd, who is a rock star, if you can't tell already. But Ashlee is an amazing teammate of mine from Naval Air Surface Warfare Center Carderock Division. Correct, Ashlee? Did I say that right?
Let me see. So now you're gonna mess me up. Naval Surface Warfare Center, because we do have an air side. That are detachments.
I said air because I'm from Nav Air.
Your air.
Yep.
But look, the air is over the sea, so it's partnerships all day.
Definitely. So if you guys are there, let us know you're there. Give me a shout out. Give Ashley a shout out. Tell us where you're watching from, that kind of thing. And
looking for my NavC fam.
Yeah, any of your NavC. Adam Rainier Brown. What's up, Adam? Giving a shout out. So good to see you, Adam. So yeah, we're just chatting about some stuff. So I've got NavalX is growing constantly, not only as what we're doing as a team, but the things that we're doing.
Giancarlo.
Yeah, you know Giancarlo?
Yeah, recruiting event. I do that too.
Awesome. And we got Cherish here from Greenville. What's up, Cherish? So yeah, we're always growing and doing a lot of different things. My time is just getting overwhelmed with live events and podcasts and videos, and I can't do it all. So Ashlee has been awesome and is stepping up to the plate.
Dang, you didn't make me. I knew I should have brought my baseball bat. I didn't get the props ready.
Well, you're up to the plate.
Cherish. So. Got Cherish on the line from South Carolina. And Todd over there. Okay, so how do you say this? Jepatora. Is that overseas?
Okay.
Could be a city in Alabama. I don't know. Hey, Oscar, Baltimore, representation, Maryland.
Fantastic. So Ashlee's going to start going live like this. We've got to train her in some of the live things. She's going to be recording videos. Who knows? Videocast, podcast. She already does a lot of that. She does all of our event stuff. Seaside chats. You may have seen her MC. She's an incredible MC, an incredible human. And Ashlee, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so a little bit about myself. I've been with the Navy since 2009. I know I look really young and cute. I do. But yeah, I'm coming up on 12 years with the Navy. Wow. Did I say that? 12 years? I started off my career in non-destructive testing. That's pretty much X-ray and ultrasonics. Like if you get if somebody's pregnant, you put the gel on the stomach and the little probes. I do that, but for metal. So I did X-ray and ultrasonic technologies for the Navy. And I got really, really good at that. And then I just was looking for a different opportunity. And I was able to come join NavalX. And so NavalX changed my life. I was able to, so Matt always does this to me, but I had a TED Talk for DAU this past summer, which was an amazing experience. I've been a facilitator. I've helped out with some of our trainings, put on some workshops, helped out with some events here, and just so engineer by night, human resources by day, right? So I'm getting all the different experiences, and so I look forward to that. I do recruiting. I love STEM, a lot of mentoring. So you name it, I want to get a part of it. Matt knows I got fear of missing out, so I joined lots of stuff.
I do get often texts from Ashlee like, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on with this?" I'm like, it's just an event. Why can't I come? Because you're doing this other event. Oh yeah. So no, that's awesome, Ashlee. And you have a natural speaking ability and your fun and joy is infectious. I don't think anyone can be around you and be mad about anything. And so
Yeah.
it's going to be awesome. I mean, you've experienced that. I know. I want you to talk about a little bit. I mean, maybe not go into the details. You had an experience a few months ago when we had a women's event, and when we were planning this women's event, someone had reached out to me and said, "Hey, we want to do this." I think you were on leave, so I was like, "Hey, great." They're like, "Oh, and you're gonna host it." I was like, "No, I'm not. It's a women's event. Ashley's gonna host it." Like this is an event to celebrate 100 years of voting for women. Well, I can't be the host. Ashley's going to, and Ashlee, of course, accepted. And you're amazing, but your power went through the screen so much that you got a call right after that event happened.
Yeah, that was an amazing experience. So we had a women's panel, and we had different women leaders across the Department of the Navy. We had an admiral, we had a captain, we had or a commander, we had Marine Corps. You already know I've been always bad with the rankings. And we had a few civilians on the line, and we had a really candid conversation. So this is where I'm probably not as strong as Matt. I don't ever know the political things to say, and I said that during the webinar, and the conversation just got real deep and real just raw, and the women on the call were just open, and there was so many women. The engagement was probably the highest we've had for any event. It was hundreds of comments. It was many questions, and people just like, I've been there, I relate there. There was connections made that were happening in the chats, that people were talking back and forth and connecting. And I think that event was so powerful because it was men and women alike. We talked about racial issues for like white women being able to vote, and then African Americans and Native American women, and then Japanese women. We talked about imposter syndrome, and and then from that group was really good because a women's mentoring session was started after that with Jennifer Santos and other SESs and admirals and different, and because we also talked about reverse mentoring. So not having to be in a position to make a difference, because like I'm in no high position for my base at all, and just getting out there and just walking up to people, say, "Hey, how you doing?" And if someone says I'm not good, which it's rare, but it's happened, I'm like, "Oh man, what's wrong?" All those things kind of just stem from that event to uplift and build up. And so we have the monthly mentoring women's groups, and yes, men have asked like to join, but it's like, it's a different experience having like women in the room that can just literally let their hair down, that's and just be real with each other. But it was great. That was life-changing too.
That's fantastic. Well, and I feel that I guess the requirement for doing all the stuff that you're about to start doing is to have great hair. I mean, I got the hawk, you got the dreadlocks right now, so it's fantastic.
Yes, and COVID. I remember the COVID guys were getting all like wild and out of shape with their beards and haircuts, but you kept yours up. But my hair is growing long and out of control. So,
well, I had to. I couldn't not put my hair up every time I was recording something. So, so Ashlee, as I mentioned earlier, this is a learning opportunity. Ashlee's learning the tool that we use to go live every day. So something that I make sure I do, Ashlee, is always call out the people that are here. You kind of did it earlier. Roy said Ashlee is a rock star, very T-shaped, strong depth in her domain, and also knowledgeable in many areas. Great asset to NavalX. And you got R. Maurice Shivers Davis says, glad you're there. Congratulations. Looking forward to seeing more of you. So
thanks,
do you know
guys.
these gentlemen?
I know Roy. I can't see. I think me and Maurice connected before, like just like from some of these.
Yeah.
On LinkedIn.
That's awesome. Well, Ashlee, you're one of the people that we have a lot of NavalX folks that are kind of behind the scenes, especially like on social media, but you're really behind the scenes. Most people don't even know you exist unless they're like planning the event or hosting the event. So I don't like our entire team does amazing work, but I think you're one of the least credited people because you're the one that's making sure the Zoom is on and turn this Zoom meeting, make this Zoom link, do this, do this. So you're an incredible asset. You already have been, and now you just get to hang out with more people.
And that's like my hobby. Well, before COVID, it was really my hobby. So it slowed down a little bit, but this is just a way to hang out with people. So I'm a huge people person, as you guys might be able to tell from different events and things. But I enjoy this because like I'm not just I recharge with people. So COVID hit hard for a lot of people. Me, as a person that naturally recharges with people, I lost that. And so for about 3 weeks, former member Steve, for the first 3 weeks, I'll be honest, I didn't do much of anything because I was so lost. I never teleworked. So I'm like, what do people do at home? Like, how does this work? And Steve's like, you're not having a good time, right? I said, no, but found my way. And now this is the way, right? The way to connect.
Just go live every day.
I know.
Awesome. So what do you want to talk about? This is your show.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk to Matt about this wave that he's creating in the Navy. So I say wave because we deal with water, right? No pun intended. No.
That's all we have to vote for the bottom.
Oh yeah, I like it. That great design, by the way. Yeah, because I want to bring attention to something that you've done. So my personal home command, NSWC Carter started Ask Me Anythings. And I think the first one was maybe 100 or so people. The second one was a little over 200 people. Crane, NSWC Crane had to Ask Me Anything about NavalX with Sandra and her leadership. And I can only imagine the other ones that have started up just because of something you and former Secretary Gertz did. So this thing, you're changing culture. Like, what's that all about? Why are you shaking up the waves? Why are you shaking the Navy up?
I want people to be heard, and that started with the Ask Me Anythings that I was doing before Secretary Gertz. I brought them when I came here. I actually was setting up the first Ask Me Anything with Secretary Gertz before I actually had been accepted to NavalX. And so it was kind of like a perfect synchrony that just kind of happened. I happened to be at NavalX and keep working with him to do those. It's something that a lot of commands across NavAir, my teammate Will Jenkins at the time, it started. And so we did this. He's like, hey, let's do it together. So we did tons of them all across NavAir, and Hondo had heard about it. And so we did one with him, and then he wanted to do them monthly, and then I've done them with other secretaries, started doing them. A lot of other PEOs, other leadership have done them for different reasons. For me, the value in the Ask Me Anything and everything else the wave you say I've been creating is all stems back to giving people a voice. It's allowing people to be heard. And when you're in an organization, and if you're just the guy that comes in and works as an engineer or works on the IT system or works in HR, you may not feel that you have a voice. Workforce from their people. And because sometimes when you submit things like, hey, fill out this command climate survey, and we want to know how you're doing. Well, Who really gets that? Where does that go? I've never been responded to when I fill one out. And so there's not trust that it goes anywhere. So, but being able to see and have leadership respond to me directly, and now we do them on through a video tool, and so they can actually get time with used to be Secretary Gertz. We're about to start doing them with Acting Secretary Stephanie, and other leaders are starting to do them. It's just, I recommend it to any senior leader or anyone who has knowledge in a certain area. Do and Ask Me Anything, because it allows people to learn about you, your area of work, whatever you're doing. It's a great way to hear what their needs are, for them to get time with you. And that kind of started the wave of, and then I started doing the quick chat videos and then the podcast. And it's all becoming this thing where I didn't really realize it until about 3-4 weeks ago. I was recording a podcast with Josh Thomas, and he said the words he's putting together for me was being that voice and me being that microphone. And that's when it all really mentally, I didn't know. A lot of people don't think I have strategy because I just go. But that is my strategy. My strategy isn't to sit and map it out and like this board here is not proactive, it's reactive. I actually retrospective. I write these down after I do things so I keep track of what I do because I just move. I forget to like plan, or I don't forget. I just go forward. That is how I plan. I plan by doing and seeing if it's going to work. And so I just started doing all this stuff and it worked. And other people have started it. Other commands have started doing their own versions of the quick chat videos. I got the podcast idea from someone else at a command and they helped me create that. Um, I'm also always a big fan of being the person on the bleeding edge because I can take it, whatever it is. Also with NavalX, I've had a lot of top cover. And so I can experiment and try. And so I don't mind being the one that gets beat up, bruised, and trying to find the way for others to succeed. And now that all these things are starting to work, I'm happy to share how we did it, what we did, so others can start using it. And like you, bringing people like yourself, there's going to be others that are going to be on more.
Oh yeah.
One, I'm only one person and I can't share. And you've heard my goals. My goals are lofty. A lot of people have said, oh, great, you got lots of great videos. In 2020, we released 188 videos for NavalX. And some people said, oh, you did enough. You're going to move on now, right? I'm like, no, there's 700,000 people in the Navy and Marine Corps. Like, I'm going to get them all. And that's my goals. Like, I want to record a podcast with all of them. And so I can't do that alone. So bringing people like you, passing the load, other people creating their own versions of it. It's not a one show, one stop type thing. I just want people to be able to share their stories, feel like they have a voice and that they are heard. Because at the end of the day, I feel that's what most humans want.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with like everything you said. Like so if anybody asks me, they'll say like, who's like one of your, people you look up to, like, like not like an idol, like in a bad way, but like a good way. That's Mohawk Matt for me, because like I think I resonate with that, with those 700. Okay, so if there's like 700,050 people, in the government, I'm pretty sure at least 1,000 of them are gonna really hate this idea, right? But like to have that voice to not be forgotten about, right? Because like, did you ever feel, as you were coming on this journey, that people were forgetting about you? Like, I mean, like, what made you like so passionate? Did you have something that said like, hey, like I'm not getting heard and I'm seeing this around, like, or is this something how you've always been?
No, I've always been loud. I'm not a quiet person. It's very clear I'm an extroverted personality. Just like you said earlier, I get my fuel from people. I had some experiences many years ago, and I was laying there with a friend who had lost his leg and arm, and we were talking about. He was sharing his experience with me, and he kind of realized. He stopped and he said, "Why am I telling you this?" And we realized it was because he trusted me, because of where I was, where he was. Some things in my life had happened to put me in the similar situation that he was in, to give me, lack of better words, street cred, to be able to, for him to trust me. One of those being a Marine, because it was a fellow Marine I was talking to. A second of those being what's called a wounded warrior. So it's someone that's gone through some things that they needed hospitalization to help. A number of different things can happen related to that. And when we were there, that actually was the first time that I realized all the things that had happened to me and that were messing with my health that were going on. I realized that they were happening because I'm not quiet, because I was a public affairs Marine, because I was in marketing, because I was a writer. All the things have kind of been compounding on me for the last 20 years to make me that strong voice and microphone for people that can't speak up or don't speak up or don't get a way to or don't get a chance to. So for me, it's a fuel that it's not that I never felt like I was never heard. It's that I know a lot of people aren't, and I know, and because I'm loud, I am usually heard in our team meetings. You and I, Ashley, are two of the ones that have probably always heard because we're always speak up, and some people just talk on chat. So I feel it's my power and my position to make sure other people have that microphone and have their voice heard, and they are helped. Because at the end of the day, for me, it's also just about helping people.
Oh, it's funny you say that because I'm going to give a shout out to Dr. Morena at the Adult too, because, and the reason I bring this up is because I felt the same thing. So through my experience, I mentioned this in the beginning, I was a TEDx speaker for DAU last year. And when I was chosen, I used to think like, why did I get chosen for this? Like and I think Marina, she saw one of the events that I was helping out with. And I thought about, okay, should I talk about, so I did talk about the importance of diversity and inclusion when it comes to innovation and how we can stay ahead of our competitors and our adversaries. And I thought about it like, man, I don't want to talk about being Black just because I'm Black. The George Floyd stuff happened, the Black Lives Matter stuff happened. So I'm like, I'm not going to talk about Black because I'm Black. It's so cliche, right? But then I thought about it. I said, well, I have a platform and I have a voice and I am loud, like you said, too. And I care about, it's not only just Black people I cared about. Like I have friends of all different races and we were all having conversations. And I think now it was like the country now was starting to listen, was starting to open their ears. So I said, you know what? I'm going to utilize the platform to talk about the importance of it. And I actually talked about my experiences in my first 2 months of being here at NavalX. And I found that so many people were impacted by it just because like speaking up and kind of saying the thing, because I was afraid. And I'm pretty sure like, others who are like passionate about things got a little bit of fear, but I used that to fuel me. Like I was afraid to talk about it, but I said, you know what? I'm absolutely going to talk about it. And then it was a huge success. It was great. And I like how you say like, your life experiences have caused you to give others those voices. So I felt like there was a lot of people that if they were in my position may have utilized it, may not have, but I gave, people a voice in that. So that's why you're awesome. Like Mohawk Matt has become the brand, but people love Matt, the man behind the brand, because a brand is nothing if you don't trust it. Right. But they trust what you've created and they see the passion. And like, I can sit up here and say for the ones when you don't see what you don't see on camera is that passion carries behind the scenes. When people sometimes try to shut stuff down, then Matt does. He's like, it's working. It's like, I want to get in, but it's like, no, like Matt is a fighter and he is fighting for the people. And you'll never like, if you don't see it, if you don't know it in front of the camera, just know it's happening behind the camera because I've witnessed it in action. And it's like a beautiful thing. I was like, go, Matt, go.
Well, thank you, Ashley. I appreciate the kind words. And because of the conversations we've had, I'm super excited for you to take on some of that because not only do I know you have the passion, but you have an amazing personality that people are going to connect to. Certain people may connect to me, and a different type of people are going to connect to you. And what you're trying to market yourself? Check out my tech.
There was 11 other speakers that were amazing too. So like I can't take all the credit because we all made a great event. And so it was, you check it out. Like I like my talk, of course, but I can tell you when I was talking, I had to say it like 100 times. I hated it at the time, right? Crazy because it's like you're saying it over and over. I lost it.
I remember you. Yeah, I remember you practicing at work every day, and you were just doing it over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah, but there was other Navy people on there, and the experiences were just great. Like every speaker there gave a different community a voice. It was great.
Excellent. So what have you got? You've had a day and a half to think about since I said, hey, let's give you some of this responsibility. What do you got in the works?
What I have in the works? Oh,
it's
man.
been 48 hours. Come on.
No, I didn't even have a chance to breathe. We had an event earlier today. I just need my cheat sheet. I know I got some notes or something. I got a lot of papers around here. I'll figure out. I guess like I just want to continue the baton on. So Matt is definitely much better at this. Like I'm not a shy person, clearly. But I want to maybe I want to hear from people from places Matt maybe hasn't gotten to, because like a lot of times we were getting the quick chats of people coming to our facility, but COVID's out, right? We're not traveling. People are not visiting, not having meetings and things like that. It's meetings of 20. They can't come in person, at least to our headquarters. But what I've loved about the quick chats and having the ability to even go down that route, what I've loved is that I've learned so much more about the Navy, because my attention span is like squirrel. I love the quick few minutes. I've learned about tons of different positions, different technologies. Like I probably could have said I hated contracts for the longest until you had people on there talking about what their role is in contracts. It's like understanding each other. And I think that kind of helps the cohesiveness of like people that are not in similar positions and different and not in the same command as you. You start to understand you start to understand how your part plays a piece in this bigger role. So I mean, I want to sniff them out. Like I wish like Grizz and Sammy were like hound dogs virtually, so they could like sniff them out and find them for us, because that would be awesome.
Trust me, Ashley, you will start to find them. All you got to do is pay attention, because they are out there. I don't have to look very hard to find incredible people to share their story, to share what they're doing. There's people that chatted on here already that are great. I'm actually supposed to do another one with Marina, and maybe we should have you do it. And so, yeah, and don't worry, you don't have to look very hard also, because I got a whole list of them I'm going to start throwing you already.
Nice.
So, that's what's so awesome about it. In the beginning, we did have to do a lot of searching and finding people, but now they're actually all coming to us because they want to use this platform and they see the value of getting their message out there.
Just expect from me someone that also keeps it real, that is open to conversations that most maybe won't have. If they're uncomfortable, like let's make people feel uncomfortable, because like in the traditional Navy sense, change makes people uncomfortable. We're gonna do it in a good way though. So just expect a lot of realness. Expect some professionalism as much as I can get and give. And just experience this ride. I said we're going to get on the Mohawk Matt train around the country and doing this. He said, no, you're going to train to be a conductor. So we're going to have like these trains going all over the country. I love it.
You'll have your own train going soon. Like I told you, you just have to make sure you actually use LinkedIn, because you're going to get lots of messages.
Okay. I'll put it on my home app. I'll put it on the home screen.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Look forward to seeing more from Ashley, and you already got super fans. There you go. We'll see you, everyone.